Fist pump. What's up, everyone? This is episode 108. We're in season 4. I was thinking about this real quick. This is like spring training. So if you do good today, do good. If not, it's only one podcast. It's early.
It's early.
Jerseys on Tap is brought to you by, DPF on Tap is brought to you by Jerseys and Glenside. It's your place to catch a game, catch a beer, catch a meal. And on May 2nd, we are doing a DPF watch party there. So it's starting at 4 o'clock. And Jerseys is located 2609 Mount Carmel Avenue. So thank you to Jerseys.
Cool, man. Love jerseys. So I wanted to get going on topics today, right from jump. And something that I was reading up on was the top 30 prospects from the Phillies, right? We know the hot names. I'm going to skip the Millers, the Crawfords, the Painters. I'm going to skip these guys, and I'm just going to highlight 3 others, right? But wanted to, have a partner help me with that. So Conshohocken Brewing is our partner for our first episode. I got looks like Dugan's got Ring the Bell. I've got this Hazy Life Coach IPA, 5%er. This is like a session all day long. They got 4 tap rooms in the Philly area. Bridgeport and KOP are like neighborhood style hangouts. They got the rec room in Phoenixville and the OG Conshohocken Conchi tap room by the riverside. Check them out this weekend and make sure that you're supporting our partners. And I think Chris has Ring the Bell on tap at the garage. But as far as prospects go, let's talk about this number 4 prospect, right? You guys, this is a guy who made a splash last year when he got drafted. His name's Gage Wood, right-handed pitcher, 22 years old. He's 6 foot even, 205 pounds, right? His projected debut on the Phillies in the big club is 2027, right? So just to give a little background, players are graded from a number of 20 to 80, 20 to 30 being well below average, 40 being below average, 50 is average, 60 is plus, and 70 to 80 is well above average, right? And so this Gage Wood is the only pitcher on the top 30 list that's plus, which is 60 or better in 3 of the categories. Fastball, he's a 70. So 70 is well above average. Control is 60, which is plus, and curveball is 60, which is plus. So if you guys remember, these guys, or when this guy was drafted, it was like, hey, maybe that's the guy that Double D was getting at the trade deadline to come in here and help us in the bullpen. Didn't pan out that way, but still exciting that he's maybe, a next year or the year after if there's no baseball next year. So really cool little prospect here we got going on. I'm gonna hop to the number 11, and we're gonna go backwards a little bit on the third one. But number 11 is Ramon Marquez. His projected major league debut is 2029. Right-handed pitcher. He's 20 years old, 6'2", 182. This guy was an international signing. Kind of flew under the radar, and he got all the way to his age 19 year, and they got him for a steal. They got him for $10,000 signing bonus. They sent him straight to Clearwater. They skipped the Dominican Rookie League. And last year in 55 innings, he had 11.8 Ks per innings against 2.8 walks per innings. And he had the biggest jump in ranking. He went from not ranked last year in 2025 to 11th. So pretty big upside on a right-handed pitcher here. And then finally, because his major league debut is not till 2031, I held this one to last. This is our number 5 prospect. His name is Francisco Renteria. He's an outfielder, hits right, bats right, 17 years old. He's 6'3", 216 pounds. He was ranked number 3 on the International Player Prospect list. Has not played with the organization yet, but is assigned to Clearwater. So remember a minute ago I was talking about the scoring. He has 60 in hitting, a 65 in power, a 60 in run, a 55 in arm, and a 60 in fielding for an overall 60. So remember, that's all plus, except for his arm is a little bit above average. In his short stint in the Venezuelan Major League when he was 15 years old, so 2 years ago, he went 8 for 28 with 3 doubles and hits off of 2 former major leaguers. So that's kind of a down the road right-handed outfielder prospect. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is how we got these prospects. So of the top 30, the Phillies drafted 20 of their top 30 prospects. In the international pool, 8 of the players came from, and 1 by trade and 1 by free agency. So just kind of wanted to highlight some of those guys and get them out there so you guys know what's coming later on.
Cool. Yeah.
Let me ask you a quick question, Mike. In your research, I don't know if you'll have the answer to this, but did you see like where the Phillies minor leagues rank overall in Major League? I know they were in the bottom, and when Manning League took over, they kind of sat middle of the pack. I'm just wondering if they're still kind of.
The last ranking I saw was 11th, but that was not in this research round. It was before, so like fall. So I'll have to look that up and get back to you.
Yeah, that's a big improvement though from where they were a few years
ago.
On
the high 20s,
the McPhail and that era of management.
Brutal.
So yeah, no, that's great. Thanks, Mike. It's always nice to learn about up and coming players, guys, you get excited about. So I'm going to move into my topic. My topic is going to be brought to you by Well Crafted, another one of our sponsors. I got a couple of their beers on deck here, the Philly Yo, and since it's St. Patty Day, I got their Blonde Americano Irish potato beer. This is absolutely fantastic.
Love it.
So Well Crafted, the name Well Crafted is inspired from their well water that they use in their home brewing. On draft, our craft beers brewed at both locations in their 7-barrel system in Lansdale and 10-barrel system in Ambler. The tap rooms have 18-plus draft beers, cocktails, wines, light fare food, entertainment, and open-air seating in their Ambler location. So check out wellcraftedbeer.com for their locations and any upcoming events. So I'm going to get into it's kind of a piggyback on a topic Chris had our last time where he talked about a pitcher that had a complete game only throwing 58 pitches. So I want to look at kind of single game records that may be impossible to break or are just outrageous that they may never be broken. So I highlighted about 8 of them here. So the first one I got, let me find my sheet here. The first one I got is 2 grand slams in 1 inning. And that was done by Fernando Tatis playing for the Cardinals off of Chan Ho Park in April of 1999. That's pretty impressive.
Both of them, too, right? Both home runs off the same. That's
off
crazy.
The same pitcher in the 3rd inning, 2 grand slams. Most innings pitched in a single game. This one's kind of unique. 26 innings by Joe Ossinger of the Boston Braves and Leon Cador of the Brooklyn Dodgers on the same day, May 1st, 1920, a 1-1 tie. And both guys pitched 26 innings that day.
That'd have been crazy if they played against each other that day.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Yeah.
So I bet you Flynn was the pitching coach.
You wonder how many there were no pitch counts back then, right? Because Gabe Kapler would have took them both out after the 5th inning.
They didn't have the clickers.
Yeah, they couldn't count it. Yeah.
Lost count.
Most runs in a single inning. Anybody have a guess how many runs?
Well, it's probably Chan Ho Park. He at least gave up 2 grand slams, right?
We're going to go back to June of 1953 for this one.
Damn.
Oh, I got to be like 18 or something stupid like that.
I'll say 17.
17 is the answer.
So I had to do the prices right, Steve, for you. I was like, I'm going one lower than Mike.
The Boston Red Sox scored 17 runs in an inning against the Detroit Tigers in June of 1953. Now, this is a record that I think the Phillies may beat one day, maybe sometime soon this year. Most runners left on base in a 9-inning game. This happened in 1956. Anybody got a guess?
27.
You're high.
High?
Oh, that's high.
27's is high.
All right, then 24.
Still high.
Oh, shit.
19.
You're the closest without going over. It was 20.
Wow.
So it was the New York Yankees versus the Boston Red Sox. So that game probably took 7 hours like they normally do these games. But
Jesus.
they left 20 base runners on base in a 9-inning game. Most total bases in a game. One player. This is a player, individual.
Wasn't it Mark Whitten?
No. This was May 23rd, 2022. He played for the Dodgers, and he did it against the Brewers. He had 4 homers, a double, and a single.
What year was this?
2002. 2002.
Sean Green.
2002.
Sean Green. 19 total bases, 4 homers, 1 double, and 1 single.
Wow.
Most stolen bases in a game. This is 2 guys did this. One did it in 1881, and one did it in 1894. And the one guy played for the Phillies, and he did it versus the Washington Senators. The other guy did it for the Chicago White Stockings versus the Providence Grays.
We probably heard this guy's name the other day in the fucking garage.
Yeah.
At least the one of them.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah. That's right.
9?
7.
Wow.
George Gore was the White Stockings, and he did it in 1881, and Billy Hamilton for the Phillies in 1894. And
How
then
come all Billy Hamiltons are fast? That's
He's
weird.
yeah,
It's weird.
must be the name. And then the last one I have is most consecutive no-hitters.
Ooh.
That's 2.
Is it
John
2?
Vandermeer.
Yeah, it's got to be
Yeah.
2, right?
2. John Vandermeer, Cincinnati Reds. He did it in 1938 versus the Boston Bees on June 11th, and then 3 days later against the Brooklyn Dodgers on June 15th.
Wow.
So back
That's-
to back
Talk about-
no hitters for
Talk
Johnny
about being in
Vandermeer.
a fucking groove, man. Jesus Christ.
Right?
I the one that really like sticks out to me is 19 total bases. Sean Green. What
Yeah.
have a day, dude. Have a fucking
Right?
day.
Have
Yeah,
a
it's
career
insane,
in one
right?
day.
Yeah, that's just insane, Yeah, so those were mine, and thank you, Chris, for the inspiration on your
Cool.
with your
Yeah, it was fun.
That was cool.
appreciate
Yeah,
it. Thank
definitely. All right, guys. So I just want to remind everybody that, my segment is brought to you by not a sponsor, but an event. We're going to be going to the old ballpark, the DPF FTM game, which, if for those of you who don't know, FTM stands for Fuck the Mets. So naturally, we'll be playing the Mets. And we're taking over section 244 in the left field bleachers. The game starts, I believe it's 6:05. It's Saturday, June 20th. And we want you there with us. You know, it's going to be an incredible night of baseball and community and fucking fuck the Mets and a lot of chants and a lot of fucking beers will be drank and maybe some fucking punches will be thrown. We're not sure. We can't promise they will, and we can't promise they won't, right?
Shirts are optional, though.
Shirts are definitely optional. I mean, wear your DPF shirt as you come through the gate. If it stays on, it stays on. If it doesn't, we get it.
Yep.
But you can grab your tickets now at phillies.com / FT. Let me pull it up for you here. It's phillies.com / DPF fans, and the code is DPF 2026. Let's pack section 244 and pack a little bit more around the fucking area. And then, man, let's have a fucking great night. DPF, FTM. It's going to be fucking awesome.
Rob, what's funny about like that link, and just to pause for a second, is this guy, I tell him every time, I was like, the F is for fans, so you don't need to put DPF fans. Like,
so I was typing this. I typed this into Gemini to give me a quick script, which I apparently didn't fucking stick to, because there were no F-bombs. There were no F-bombs in the script from fucking Gemini.
Really? That's weird.
It is weird because I have my settings changed and everything. Please put fucking every. So anyway, and it said make sure you spell out DPF FANS, like Gemini's telling me that, and I'm going, yeah, I guess people might not know that. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about real quick was that it's hard to believe, guys, that it's been, that it's been 20 years or 18 years since fucking Brad Lidge fucking got that last out, struck out Eric Kinski, and the Phillies fucking, the whole city went wild, and they won a World Series. And it had been 28 years before that. And here we are in 2026, having only scratched the surface, having gone through a whole lot of shit, man, chasing the parade. You know, we're more than halfway through it. So we're 16 years. The other drought was 28. So like we're getting there, and we've gone through some shit. Cameron Rupp, like I was going through some of their rosters between 2012 and 2022. Cameron Rupp, Dom Brown, and Jake Arrieta really fucking jumped out at me. And you know, we were talking earlier about the fucking prospects, and that was a lot of that was a homegrown team in 08. You know, we had a lot of guys that the Phillies had drafted and fucking nurtured and brought up through the system. And then we had guys like Dom Brown and Cameron Rupp and whoever the fuck, like we had a bunch of guys who just never panned out, and it just shows you how important scouting is. And that scouting in the fucking 2010s, you know, 2012 through that era, just not good, man. We had all these fucking bums, man, and everybody that we signed seemed to fucking not pan out. But starting in 22, like we were third in the division, won the first round, won the second. Like we beat some fucking good teams along the way. We beat the Braves, we beat the fucking Dodgers. I mean, the Padres, you know, and then we get in and we go fucking, what was it, 7 games against the fucking Astros? Six games. You're right. So anyway, we're fucking scratching the surface here, and we got some players, and we're signing some free agents. I just don't know, guys. Because every year since 2022, we've been dropping, we've been going down. You know, we don't get as far, and it's very frustrating. And I'm just wondering, are we going to fucking make it 28 years without another title? Or do you guys honestly think that we have whatever? Are we going to pull this off in the next 10 years is what I'm trying to say. Because it's not with this. If it's not with this crew, then what? We're going to have to rebuild again.
Well, it's not going to be with Aiden Miller because he's fucking 20 years old and his back hurts.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah. I just got an update on him today too, and you know, they said he's not even going to be ready to start the AAA season now, right?
Nope.
I mean, they have to, right? But who has to? Because you think about those Red Sox fans and the Cubs fans. People lived, died, had 2 or 3 generations almost through this time, and they didn't win. So there's no guarantees. I don't know. I really hope so, because I don't have much longer to live with this fucking drinking.
and that's my point, man. That's my point, man. We're in our 50s now, and
just being honest.
And I'm like, how old was I when they won it? 34.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, and I'm in my 50s.
Yeah.
Like this
think about it with this All-Star game. We're never seeing another one here, guys.
Yeah.
This is
it for us.
This is very true, because you know we're not living
30 years,
30 plus years.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'm not.
I don't think any of us are, but
this is good.
Yeah.
True.
But I mean, you know, you always, you know, I think when you talk about the Cameron Rupps and the Don Browns, and you think about where we were, and they look at the team that we have now and how much better this team is, and I don't think we bitched as much back then because we had no expectations for those teams to be good at all. You know, like if they got hot, we got excited. You know, like they were never World Series teams. We never expected that. But since 2022, we've expected this to be, you know, to be a World Series contender every year. I don't know how they're going to play this. Like I'm hoping, you know, as the season goes on, I think they're too good not to be good. I will continue to say that. They're too good not to be good. Is this a year with the pending lockout next year where at the deadline it's just balls to the wall, where like let's win it this year, because who knows, might not be no baseball next year. There might not be any baseball the year after that, you know, like but it sounds like the players are going to dig their feet in. The owners are going to dig their feet in. This could be a long, drawn out, you know, lockout. So is this the year the Phillies just go all in and say, let's win this World Series before baseball shuts down for God knows how long.
I mean, guys, we were worried about the starting pitching. Any concerns right now?
None.
Studs.
No, yeah, they're looking
All
good.
studs.
Yeah, they have to be healthy. Wheeler has to get healthy.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah,
but does it feel like they have to steal one? You know what I mean?
Good
with
enough.
this,
With the Dodgers, that
Yeah.
beating the
That's what I
Dodgers
mean.
is the thing. Like, that would be stealing it if you beat the Dodgers, just because on paper the Dodgers are going to be the best team in baseball. But can the Phillies beat them? I think they can. With the Phillies starting pitching, they can beat anybody, but they can also be beat by anybody because their offense tends to go very cold at times. So it's like that's the roller coaster we're riding with this team. Is they're only going to go as far as their offense carries them because their pitching is going to be solid. So they need to be consistent with the bats. They need Harper to be Harper, Schwarber to continue to be Schwarber, Turner to have another Turner type year, and you need the Stotts and the Bohms and the Marshes to just develop and get
one of these young guys needs to
be those
Garcia.
guys.
break out again, and
those
Garcia
guys.
needs to not get
Word.
popped.
Well,
He
yeah,
needs to not get popped.
He's
ultimately
definitely
what it comes down
loaded
to.
up. Let's keep that hope because right now, I don't know, the pitching does look great. But that is depressed because you're like, man, wow, we're mortal and this could be it. And we saw the last one and it was Brad Lidge. I didn't even like who I was with right then.
Yeah, I was living at my aunt's house, and the first phone call, as soon as they won, the phone rang, and it was my pop, and my pop, and he died February the following year. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's been 18 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So I was just thinking about that the other day, and I was like, this will be my first topic.
Yeah. I mean, I had my birthday this week, and the first thing I thought
Happy
about
birthday.
is how many more years do I got left, and I need to see another one or two Phillies World Series. We're in our 50s. I mean, I don't want to get put to the showers for the last time without seeing another World Series. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'd love to see the Flyers sneak in and make some noise, right? Just get some good vibes going off of into the Philly season, and then the Phillies do their thing. We
were talking about that the day we watched the USA game. Is just playoff hockey is just a different animal. It's such an intense, and I want to feel like that with the Flyers again, like we did watching Team USA. Like that was magic. That was magic. And who knows? They've been hot. They've got 3 wins in a row. They're looking a little better, but who knows? They could trade the whole team tomorrow, right? So,
and we're going to get you out of here at a good time tonight because the Flyers are playing right now.
That is true. It's nothing right now. So
thanks for the update.
I want to talk a little bit about spring training. So I just want to give you a day or week in the life and just give you some tips. So this is, my spring training, just the tip. What I will recommend immediately is if you can stay in Clearwater Beach, whether it's an Airbnb, there's tons of hotels, motels. You don't have to be at like the swanky place. But there's so much to do there. There's no driving. There's no Uber cost. Everything is walking. It's an island. It's like being in, I don't know, Wildwood, and you're only walking from 2nd to 26th. That's legitimately how close all of these places are. There's 5 Frenchies. The Frenchies have great grouper sandwiches. They also have this passport that if you go and get any drink there, they stamp the passport. And if you stamp all 5 places, they give you a t-shirt. You don't have to do it in one day.
How many of those t-shirts do you have, Chris?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. We were there 6 days last year. So
t-shirt's
I guess
a t-shirt, man.
30 t-shirts.
Yeah, there was different colors. So I'm like, fuck. If you are staying in Clearwater Beach, make sure that you get a fucking Uber early for the goddamn game. I'm going to say this again. Make sure you book your Uber early because your ass is going to be late to the game. Go super early. Go to Lenny's. Get breakfast at Lenny's and then walk to the ballpark. Ballpark tip here. So the gates open, I believe, at 11. Motherfuckers line up at 10 o'clock. And when that gate opens, motherfuckers run to Frenchie's and abscond with all the seats. There's like one fast motherfucker that's got like 10 pieces of clothing. He's like, you know, a hat over here. Here's a pocketbook. Here's a shoe. I'm telling you, this is exactly what happens. And you know, I gave the guy $10 last year, so I was like,
how much you paid
because I'm
to
like,
pass this guy in line, right?
I'm not fucking running. I can't fucking run because like Renee needs a bar seat, and you know, I'm like, you know, double fist at all times, really double fist at all times, because it's difficult to get to the you know, in there. The game, enjoy the game, but make sure you bring sunscreen. They give you some, but it's like shit, and it's like that white stuff. So I came out like fucking Marceau, you know, the fucking mime, having it all over. And Renee's like, Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck are you? What the fuck are you doing in the fucking bathroom? And I was like, I don't know, love's love. There was, you know, never mind. Never mind.
$20 is $20.
Yeah. But like explore some of the dives too. So there is a place called the Shipwreck. It's a complete dump. So one morning, Renee likes riding bikes. I look like fucking Dino from the Flintstones on a bike, like completely extra ridiculous. So we're like riding down, and I'm like, oh, there's the Shipwreck. Let's go there. So the Shipwreck wasn't open because it was 9:30 in the fucking morning.
That's weird.
But we're like, oh, we're on vacation. So we see a couple DPFers across the street that are like in an Airbnb. Wally, shout out to you. We drank there all fucking day. We didn't need the Shipwreck. Wear your DPF shirt if you have one. When you go to a game, Steve will say this. Joey's down there now. Other people will come up to you and say, fuck the Mets, or just hang out. So that's kind of like a good signal to say, like, you're part of something. I know why you're wearing that. And I hope to see people down there. The other thing that I'll say is remember that diabetes is a real thing. And when you're drinking these rum runners, these motherfuckers are like, I wouldn't even want to take my blood sugar level. I come back home and I'm just like, I go on a strict beer diet. It's like no liquor, no orange juice. I'm like nothing. And towards the end of the thing you do, but a couple of those things, if you look into it, are like really good points when you're going down there.
There you go. I hope people were taking notes.
Cool, man. Well, taking all those tips, and let's just go right into the season, right? So I wanted to break down a little bit of the NL East. So I know you guys are thinking about kind of the end of this. We'll do our own rankings here. I'll write them down and recap them at the end of the year. For any of those sites that we don't name because they're not sponsors yet, you probably want to sign us up, because me in particular really sucks at picking, and you can make a lot of money off us. So many experts have the NL East as basically a 3-team race this year: Phils, Braves, Mets, all finishing somewhere around 3 games around one another, and no one with more than 91 wins. So all 3 of these teams have risk factors, and the breakdown of the risk factors happens to be the starting pitching staffs of all 3 of these teams. Now, I'm going to break it down for you a little bit, and then we'll talk about our rankings. So let's start with the Braves, right? Sale, he's 37 years old this month. Strider, still recovering from elbow surgery, hasn't been the same since like that 2022 season. Lopez, shoulder surgery. Last year, he pitched a grand total of 5 innings all year last year. Elder, last 2 seasons, 5.59 combined ERA. And Holmes, this guy's actually attempting to pitch through a partially torn UCL right now. So at some point, it's going to go all the way tear, and he's going to be a Tommy John. Schellenbach and Swellenbach, however you say his name. Thank you. And Waldrop, they're already on the shelf because they both have had surgery already, like in the last month. And they have very little depth in their both the majors.
I think Spencer hurt himself against the Phils.
Oh, did he?
Remember that
I missed
game?
that.
No,
back a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just ugly because you just kind of see it happen. He just knows, and it's like, oh.
Yes. So that's kind of like the breakdown of the risk in the Braves rotation. So then I'll do the Phillies last. We'll do the Mets next. There's questions from the middle to the back of their starting rotation. not sure what to expect from Manea and Senga, who are coming off of disappointing and injury-marred seasons. Peterson and Holmes started 2025 well, but both faded. McLean had a good debut, but can he maintain, like, the thought process is his ERA was 2.06 for a portion of the year last year. Can he maintain that through an entire season? And that's obviously TBD. So add in all the changes defensively, this season could go south for Queens fast. Like the couple articles I read, they're really emphasizing all these changes that are made. They're not going to be ready in time, to put the starting lineup on the field and then put in all this risk factor on their starting pitching. It's a mess in Queens right now. And we've seen a little bit of that when you see Bichette taking ground balls off his face, basically. So, you guys, we've posted that.
We have special breaking news from Christy. Hey, from spring training, missing my handsome DPF hubbies. I think she forgot the IES on there.
She sure did. She sure did.
Hope he doesn't make me mad before I come home. Well, hope is a terrible word, and good luck with that one. Bringing him a present. You're enough of a present for him. So, did I do good, Chris?
Thank you. Thank you.
Is that what you wrote?
This is Woodard.
Did you write that with Gemini? Did Gemini write that?
Hope is a hell of a T-shirt.
I miss you, honey. I miss you, and I love you.
Oh. All right, breaking down the fills, and then I'll get you guys picks. This rotation's risk, I mean, it's been well documented just by us, let alone everybody else. We got Sanchez and Luzardo, and then will Wheeler bounce back? Supposedly sometime in April. He's on track for, so, that's great. He'll be back. What will his stamina be? What will his stuff be? That's TBD. We'll see. Not sure how Nola performed after his worst year ever. It's well documented. Meatballs he gives up, but also hey, his big plus was he's very durable. Well, he wasn't last year, so how can he bounce back from that? Rangers gone, and we all wanted Walker gone, right? At some point, we were like, let's get this guy out of here, DFA him, and now he's our number 4 guy. Good, decent year last year. Can he, expand upon that? And then what will Painter do? Sure looked good the other day, guys.
It's 3 years post Tommy John for
3
Painter.
years. Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. So the thing is after those guys, we don't have much depth in the minors either. So if we're 1 or 2 setbacks away from having to make a move or putting someone out there that's not tested. So I just throw it over to you guys. What say you? Where do you guys have the rankings in the NL East this year? Very early rankings, I get it.
As far as pitching staffs,
as far as who's gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4
for pitching staffs or for in
for
the league?
record
in the division.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Butcher.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and say the Phillies are going to win it again. I made the mistake of picking them to finish second last year. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to say the Phillies are going to do it again, based on the strength of their fucking pitching staff, their starting rotation, and then I know Dugan's going to get into the bullpen here right after this, but I think their bullpen looks a lot stronger than it did last year. Now that, of course, that remains to be seen. But and then I got the Braves kind of bouncing back and finishing number 2, and then the Mets finishing number 3. I think Mike mentioned that some of the changes, Bo Bichette's not going to figure out third base right away. I think some of the pitching staff is either going to Noel McLean is good. He looks good. But I don't know. He's a little guy. I don't know if he's going to hold up. And then as far as 4 and 5 go, I think you can toss a coin. I think probably the Marlins, just because they'll overachieve, and then the Nationals are just fucking. The Nationals. Every player on that team, every starter on that team has last year was their rookie card. So they're just a bunch of guys who they're just grooming. and then they'll probably end up fucking trading at some point in the next like 3 years. So that's who I got: Phillies, Braves, Mets, Marlins, and then the Nationals.
Got it. Dugan?
I like the Phillies to win the division. I think the starting pitching. I don't think there's as many question marks as some of the experts think. I think the starting pitching is going to be really solid. The Braves and the Mets could be a toss-up. I think it's the Braves second, just because if they stay healthy, I think they're the better team overall. But they could be hurt. I mean, Albies gets hurt every year. Acuna seems to get hurt. Riley got hurt last year.
Right.
So I'll go with the Braves 2, Mets 3. The Nats are a team that really intrigued me just because of what Rob said, being a young team. Like, I think they're just young and punchy, and I like that kind of team. Like, they got nothing to play for other than themselves. So I think I'm going to put them at 4, and the Marlins are just the Marlins. They'll beat the Phillies probably half the goddamn time, because they always do. But I think they're just a garbage franchise and I'm going to put them at 5th.
Chris?
I want to go Phillies, Braves, Nats, Mets, Marlins, just because fuck the Mets. And I'm like, I don't know. I love James Wood. I think this dude's a stud. I think that he's someone who can make a difference there. And I don't know. I think once things start going bad in New York, things go bad. And, without pitching again.
They have a lot of guys too defensively that are not playing natural positions.
No,
they signed like Brochette at third. The guy they signed to play first has never played first before. So there's a lot of weird shit in that with the Mets. Like they went for names and not need in certain spots. I think. And,
is Juan Soto playing the field anymore?
Left field.
He's playing left.
He's fucking terrible everywhere.
Yeah.
So, he can't play right, which is more difficult, but left should be the easiest. I mean, I guess if Bull could do it and Pat Farrell.
Right.
Peter Cavilla.
Yeah.
Kemp.
There you go.
I love the Germans.
Right. So when I did my little minimal research for this thing, I realized that fucking Walt Weiss is their manager this year in the Braves.
Yep.
And he only managed the Rockies, I guess, for 4 years, and his winning percentage is 45%, 40%, 42%, 46%. Is he just going to fucking figure it out in Atlanta?
Terrible.
That's
Rob. It's getting him in the fucking Rockies Hall of Fame.
Don't get me wrong, you're exactly right. But I thought that was interesting. I was like, fucking Walt Weiss, really? 1989 or 1987, whatever it was, Rookie of the Year.
The Oakland A's, right?
Yeah.
Just to round it out, I'm going Phils, Braves, Marlins, Mets, Nats. And I'll recap at the end of the year how we did.
Nice. So we all got the Phils winning, so that's probably the kiss of death.
Yep.
Sweet.
We probably never did that before, though, honestly, guys.
No, I said last year I think I had the fucking Mets winning it.
I think I had the Braves last year.
Yeah, we probably did, honestly.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to move into my topic that Rob alluded to, the battle of the bullpen, and kind of who the candidates are and who they are, how we got them, and how they're doing so far in spring training. So Phillies most likely are going to carry 8 guys in their bullpen to start the season. 5 guys, we already know who they're going to be. Duran, Alvarado, Kirkring, Brad Keller, and Tanner Banks. They're talking about Jonathan Bolin being already solidified as a guy. I have him kind of on the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a guy I'm going to highlight here. And I'll talk about, one, how we got each guy, a little scouting report, and then I'll go into their stats. So Jonathan Bolin, he was acquired from the Royals in the Matt Strahm trade. He's got a 5-pitch mix, tops out about 65 plus. He's got good control and the ability to generate ground balls and strikeouts. The next guy is Zach Pop. The Phillies signed him as a free agent. He profiles as a power sinker baller looking to rebound from recent struggles. He relies on a 96 to 98 mile per hour sinker with heavy sidearm run and a mid-80 slider. He aims to generate ground balls, making him a low leverage bullpen option. Zach McCambley, he's an interesting guy because he was a Rule 5 pick. So the Phillies are going to give this guy a pretty long look because they have to carry him on the 26-man roster for the entire season or offer him back to the team that they drafted him for like a $50,000 fee. So if he doesn't make the team, they can offer him back. If they don't accept him, they then can send him to the minors. But his arsenal is a four-seam cutter type fastball, a power curve slider, a cutter that he uses for strikeouts and to get weak contact. Fastball sits in the low to mid 90s, can touch high 90s on occasion. The cutter sits around 90, and his breaking ball shows up in the mid 80s with significant bite that generates swings and misses. Analysts who track picks mix also note a significant whiff rate on his slider and a willingness to throw the cutter to both left and right-handed hitters. The other guy that I'm kind of excited about is this goofy left-hander that they acquired from the Diamondbacks.
Me too.
Kyle Backus.
Mm-hmm.
So he's known for his unique sidearm delivery with high extension release. He profiles as a situational loogie, they call him, so a left-handed specialist. He dominated lefties last year to a 139 batting average with a 91 mile per hour sinker, a cutter, and a low 80 sweeper. Our old buddy Max Lazar, who the Phillies signed as a free agent back in 2023. He's known for a high spin four-seam fastball, 93 to 97, and a sharp 12 to 6 curveball. He developed into a high-end utility bullpen option, utilizing a low, consistent release point to generate swings and misses. Chase Shugart, he was acquired this year from the Pirates. He's an athletic right-handed pitcher. His reliable, high-effort reliever with a 4-pitch mix, fastball, cutter, sweeper, changeup. He typically works in the 91 to 95 range, occasionally touching 97, 98, specializing in limiting hard contact and utilizing a strong sweeper. And Seth Johnson is the last guy who was acquired in 2024 in a trade with the Orioles for Gregory Soto. He's known for a high-velocity fastball, 94 to 98, and a plus slider. He was originally a shortstop. He transitioned to pitcher full-time in college. He's considered a mid-rotation starting prospect with a potential for a high-leverage bullpen role. So I'm going to take a quick look at these guys and what they've done so far in the spring. Bolin is 0-0 with a 4.5 ERA and 2 innings pitched. No walks, 4 Ks, a whip of 1, and batting average against 250. Zach Pop's 0-1 with a 10.80 ERA in 3 1/3 innings, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 1.80 whip, and a 286 batting average against. McCambley is 0-0 with a 2.25 ERA, 4 innings, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1.75 whip, and a 167 average against. Backus is 1-0. 3 innings pitched, 1 strikeout, 0.67 whip. I like that. A 200 batting average against. Lazar, 0-0, 3 ERA, 3 innings, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2.0 whip, 273 batting average against. Shugart, 0-0 with 0 ERA, 4 1/3 innings. He has allowed a home run, no walks, 3 strikeouts, 0.46 whip. I like that. And a 143 average against. Seth Johnson, 0-1, 1.93 ERA, 4 2/3 innings, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 0.86 whip, and a 1.33 average against. So they got 3 guys that are going to make it. It looks like Bowen's probably the one guy that probably hasn't made just because he was traded for Strom. So I think they're giving him a leg up, like it was a value trade for them. I like Backus, I like Shugart, and I like McCamby. So I think it's a 3-guy race for the last 2 spots.
Did you see the sorry, Chris, did you see the interview with Backus after he came out of the game yesterday?
No, I did not.
If you can find it, go on, I don't know, YouTube or whatever and find it. He's one of us, guys. He is stoked to be at Citizens Bank Park. His interview was solid gold. It was really good.
Part of me wants, like, the two Zachs to make it, right? So we have three Zachs on the team. That'd be kind of cool, right? Like, that's
Zach Pop is
impossible.
gone.
That doesn't
he's
happen a
definitely
lot.
done. I think it comes down to options, and like Seth Johnson deserves it, right? He's had a great preseason, but it doesn't matter, right? He kind of came up and he shit the bed a little bit. And Max Lazard, did he do terrible for us last year, guys?
He was okay.
He was okay, right? But he has some he's there. He's been there.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Seth Johnson said he's that depth starter. So I think he goes down to AAA and gets stretched out to be that swing guy, So I don't think he makes it as a reliever. I think he's the guy that comes up if someone goes down or somebody struggles.
But Taiwan's going to the pen.
He will be. Yeah.
So this is like one of these guys is going down,
It's
right?
gonna get bounced. Yeah.
Taiwan's like a barnacle you can't fucking scrape, man. I swear.
But,
I swear to God.
These guys that you're talking about, like, these are all high leverage guys.
Big arms. Big arms.
I don't want to put them in like a 9-0 game or they're getting their ass kicked too. You know what I mean? I think there's like some guy that's Taiwan Walker, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Let him throw meaningless innings.
Yeah,
exactly. Don't save these guys for when it means something.
And Taiwan, we did not sour on him after we did. Like, we gave him major props last year. And I think that dude has the biggest balls on the team. He was like, yep, I'll do that. Yep, I'll do that. Yep, I'll do that again. So Taiwan he's A-okay in my book, honestly.
Right.
He also
never complained once, man.
Never.
He also manned up. If he sucked, he's like, listen, I suck. And this is what I'm going to try and do to fix it.
Well, he did. Right. He did bitch once. He said that the disrespect was at an all-time high.
Well, Taiwan. All right, guys.
Bring a Presidente in the dugout, though, did he?
I want to talk about this. Just came out recently. I heard him talking about it on one of the radio stations, and Philadelphia Magazine came out with a list of the 25 most Philly athletes. This is like saying, doing like a bracket for cheesesteaks. Like, it's so played out. It's so like, it's kind of dumb. So I'm going to make fun of it a little bit.
Love it. Love it.
But I also want to so I'm going to mention the list, number 25 is Vince Papale. So you see where this is going already.
How could he be any more Philly than Vince Papale? I mean,
right, exactly. I mean, Marky Mark fucking played him perfectly. So I mean, Vince number one in our hearts. So they got Whitey at number 23, which I don't know how they put him that low because he played here and he fucking sat in the booth with Harry for all those years. I mean, the dude's a fucking legend, but this is a fucking magazine selling subscriptions and selling fucking newsstand, editions and whatever. They had Utley at 13 because Utley and because Philly. And he said, fuck, world fucking champions. And he kicked the fucking Met and he got 30 every game. So he's Philly. And then they have Schmidt at 11 because he's Mike Schmidt and Michael Jack Schmidt. You can't fucking leave him off the list. But he didn't make the top 10. Dick Allen, number 9. I'll admit I never saw Dick Allen play, right? I don't know that any of us were alive, but the guy was he's a fucking legend, period. So yeah, put him on there. He's number 9. Number 4 was Kruk. All right. And while, Kruk is one of us and we love Kruk and all that, but he's more West Virginia than Philly, I think.
And this guy's only popular because we had him on our podcast.
I mean, and that's it.
We did make this guy somebody.
Until he told those fucking great stories that he never told anywhere else on our fucking podcast. And you can probably find that in our archives if you go back on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. There's a dozen other outlets that you can find our old podcast. Find the one with Crawford.
There's only really one you can't find.
Oh yeah,
that was never recorded. That was never recorded. That was a test. That was a test. So those are the guys that are on the list, and we can go back and talk about that if you want to. But I want to talk about before I talk about the snubs, guys, and the snubs, you're gonna understand why these snubs are fucking dumb. Because I'm gonna go. All right, let's go to number 15. Guys, guess who the number 15 most Philly athlete ever was?
AI.
Pat Burrell.
Dugan?
Donovan McNabb.
All right, you guys are all in the wrong species. It was a fucking horse, and it was Smarty Jones.
Oh.
And I just want to make sure, because he was from Chester County Farm.
That's not even Philly.
Which isn't in fucking Philly, first of all. So now I'm pissed off because they're like, the number 15 greatest, most Philly athlete ever was a fucking horse from Chester. That's some Philly magazine bullshit right fucking there. And
So
I'll probably catch.
Is it based on your attitude, your personality that makes you Philly, or because I can think of like 100 other guys that are more Philly than Mike Schmidt.
I think part of what they did is how it kind of unified the city, brought the city together, got the city excited about certain things. Attitude is one thing. Like, there are players on there whose attitudes qualified them as Philly because they probably said fuck a lot like we do. And, they were, even though they were from like Des Moines or something like that.
That's what I'm thinking, like a Dykstra and a Dalton and a Pelly Lindbergh, guys that were drinking out, partying, having a good time.
Asshole. Did you read my fucking notes?
No.
Did you read my fucking notes?
Sorry to jump you.
All right, it's quite all right because it makes what you said makes sense.
Yeah.
What these motherfuckers said don't make sense. Number 18 is Monet Davis, and listen, we all love that story.
That was cool.
It was very cool, and they had a parade for a team. You know what I mean? Like, it was very awesome. Top 25 most Philly athletes of all time, like
ever.
I mean, she was represented Philly in the League World Series, and it was great. But here are the snubs that I fucking thought were, a fucking horse, guys, a fucking horse. All right. So I just want to go back to that before I continue on with these snubs. So the first snub, and this is in no particular order, but Larry Boa.
Not on there?
No, he's not on there at all. And is this not a guy who fucking, just was Philly?
Embodies Philly. He embodies Philly.
Yeah, he embodies Philly. The attitude and the fucking grit and the fucking like watching him manage and argue with umpires was some of the greatest shit because his fucking head would do all this. It was
Rob, how did you get this magazine?
Artwork. I subscribed. Actually, I got it for free. I probably subscribed about 6 years ago when I lived in, and they just keep sending it. I've never paid for it. They just keep sending it.
Wait, I think there's a bill somewhere. Yeah, it's like there's a penny an issue, and
it's a Columbia House. You got all those CDs.
Exactly
and you never
right.
paid for them.
Right. So, and I think they send it just to piss me off, which is brilliant actually, because then I talk about it on our podcast with millions of viewers. Okay, the other one I have is Darren Dalton. Like, where the fuck is Darren Dalton? Like, this guy was tough, fucking macho row, fucking like this dude was like a 200 hitter for all those years, and then all of a sudden he was just really fucking good. There, Larry Boa, exactly. We all met him at a fucking sports association banquet or something like that. Him and Max Runiger. Darren
Tony
Dalton,
Franklin. He was only wearing one shoe.
Franklin was always. And so, like, Dalton, like, this guy was Philly through and through. We loved him. Like, how is he not on this list, right? And then, so I'm going to read this. And Lenny Dykstra, man, he's the most complicated snub on the field. He was the ultimate spark plug. He was Chase Utley before Chase Utley was Chase Utley. Dirt on the jersey. He actually had tobacco in his cheek. He was clutch in the postseason. He just ran around and he loved playing here because he was as fucking nuts as the fan base, But then off the field, the dude is a complete fucking scumbag. So if that kept him off, sorry,
Rob,
Chris,
I have some questions for you. I really have some questions for you. Like, who the fuck wrote this, and how have you not already fucking penned the fucking, Or I guess like this, like just fucking send a fucking message to this person and be like, they have an agenda, right? They're not doing boozers. They're not doing drug addicts. They're not doing criminals. What the fuck?
All right, I have a name. I'm going to give it to you in a second. I have several names, as a matter of fact. So, guys, take your notes. And then, so like I said, like being a scumbag shouldn't keep him off this list. And then there is another particular scumbag that I don't like, that I know everybody else loves, and I loved him when he was a Philly, but I'm just not a fan. And, recently deceased Pete Rose, like people in Philly love him, and I understand why. That dude was a fucking Philly athlete, even though he was only here for a fucking not a very long stretch. He brought us a fucking World Series, right?
Yeah.
Like him and the fucking Reds, when they came over here, like they put us over the top, right? So it just, those are my three like major snubs. And those are just obvious, like Larry Bowa, Darren Dalton, and fucking Lenny Dykstra. Like those are obvious. Real quick, this was edited by a guy named Bradford Pearson.
There we go.
There you go.
You already know.
And then the contributors were Malcolm Burnley, Jason Cohen, Sandy Hingston, Brian Howard, Olivia Cram, Jane Krig Schriefels, Lauren McCutcheon, Larry Platt, Richard Reese, and Don Sliver. So
Well, did each of them pick one person?
that's
Yeah,
kind of
it
what it
looks
looks
like
like. That's kind of what it looks like. Or they all fucking threw a bunch of names in a hat and then voted as they ate their fucking Chipotle. Like,
Rob, you didn't name them all, but like, listen, like when we're kind of talking about this 90210 era, which has nothing to do with Philly, but like Bobby Estalella changed the way sideburns were seen in this city. Fucking Dylan and Brandon copied Bobby Estalella's fucking sideburns. If he's not in there, this thing's fucking bullshit. Oh,
This
it's
is
not
true.
most influential.
it's just most Philly.
Oh, all right. Well, all right.
That's pretty Philly.
Yeah. Yeah, that
You
is
know?
Philly.
How did Estalella never get dinged for PEDs either?
Oh my God.
Didn't he? Didn't he later in his career? Or
Maybe
just now?
With the
not when he was
Giants?
with the Phillies, though. He was a monster, that dude.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Yeah, if you guys got anything to add, or you guys got some snubs, or if you guys want me to yell again about a fucking horse, I'll do it. Yeah.
That was funny.
I like
was
that
good
That
one.
was
stuff.
funny.
That was good stuff.
Are the rest human?
Yeah, they are. I mean, they got like of the non-Phillies, Papali, and then they got Tyrese Mack, Carly Lloyd,
She's from
Steve
Jersey.
Steve Williams, who was a skateboarder.
I agree with this guy. Let's convene at the garage and make our own list and report back. What do we think?
Seriously.
It sounds like a good idea. We'll end up just drinking beer and forget about the list, but that's still
No
fun.
shit. But I mean, that's fine too.
That's
Right.
the kind of the point.
That's why we have Rob to keep us on track, because he won't be drinking.
Right. And you guys will just be all jolly and drunk, and I'll still be pissed off. It'll be perfect.
Right, but you'll have the hop water.
That's the delicious
Raspberry
hop
and lemon.
I'm naming
hop.
all
so good.
horses just to piss Rob off.
So I want to talk about the final roster spots as we're kind of like getting down to the end here. And it's like, we've already talked about the bullpen, and it's like a joke that like, oh, is it going to be Marchand or Stubbs? Did Stubbs get incredibly better all of a sudden? It's Marchand. Stubbs is just there. And they're going to be like, listen, you want to go groom the, not in that type of way, but groom the pitchers down at the Iron Pigs. That's what you're going to do. Then with outfields, I mean, I don't know what the Rojas thing is. I thought he was smoking trees. He wasn't. But the other thing is we have to stop calling them performance enhancing drugs. They're just drugs.
Right.
They're just drugs at this point.
Performance declining drugs.
Yeah, you may look better, physical, but the physical of like hitting a bat, a baseball, it doesn't happen.
My cousin Vinny lawyer to come in and goes, if you don't hit 20 home runs, did you even take drugs?
They should just say, yeah, he tested positive for D's. Covers everything.
And then, I think they're going to give it to Dylan Moore, right? But I'm really worried about the bench, because then like, what are you like worried about? Oh, okay, their closer's coming in. Edwin Diaz is coming in, and we're bringing fucking Dylan Moore off the bench in the 9th. Marsh is coming out and Dylan Moore. And I'm like, I don't know. I like the De La Cruz guy. I think that he killed us when he was a Marlin. Am I right, guys? Like,
he sure
just
did.
constantly hit fucking monstrous taters. I would just like to see him out there. Like, fucking Dylan Moore. I get it. He can play anywhere. So I think Dylan Moore makes the team. And I think that would kind of wraps it up. But that's kind of the final roster spots. So, all these ones we already know who's making it.
Yeah, there's not much competition. There's not many spots open, So yeah, oh God, Dylan Moore. He's a 200 fucking hitter. That's what, like, he's Whit Merrifield. He's a jacked up Whit Merrifield. That's what he is to me. Like, I just, that was my biggest problem with the Phillies all season, is they didn't go out and get a right-handed hitter, even just for a platoon type situation, Yeah.
That's it.
Dylan Moore. That's it.
Fucking Chris pull out of fucking strappers.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't seen Chris's name forever. I guess he just got, I don't think they let you have Facebook when you're, inside.
When you're in the pokey.
Yeah.
That dude that Dylan Moore, though. I mean, he's like a 206 career hitter. Good glove. I think he's got a gold glove to his name in Seattle.
As a utility man. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah. But I like De La Cruz.
Give it to the utility player, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Christ, fucking Polanco could have won that every year. The guy played every position.
Seriously.
So, we're at that magical time where it's like 1 hour. So I'm like, I'm looking at our topics and I'm like, can I talk about mine next time? Well, yeah, it's just talking about penis. Oh, wait, that's not. Hold on, I'm on the wrong page. I'm on the wrong page.
We're at the time limit.
Jesus
this ain't
Christ.
The fucking Flyers podcast, man.
We
don't have 3 hours. Dude.
Right.
We don't have 3 hours and 7 people on the screen.
But I think that one is so relevant that I'd like Chris to wrap it up because his segment just happened. So, Chris, take us home with your segment.
Yeah. So we just kind of touched on it a little bit. My segment
so did I.
Hey now.
Wow.
Do the Phillies have a PED problem? They've had 3 players now test positive and be suspended in the last season. I mean, we haven't in the regular season, it hasn't even started yet. So my question is, you had obviously Alvarado, 80-game suspension for testing positive for exogenous testosterone, whatever the fuck that is. Max Kepler,
I think he's rubbing man fucking butter on himself. It's like some other
too, but
some other dudes.
I mean, I do that too when I'm looking at that page you were just looking at. But
watch out, man. Chris is going to Dugan's going to get popped.
Max Kepler suspended 80 games in January for testing positive for, Chris, you probably could say these words since you're in the medical field, but Trembolini or something like that. And now we have
the horse one, right? That was the one for horses, and Butcher's all pissed off again.
Yeah,
we brought up fucking horses.
Max Kepler just bumped out Smarty Jones for the most Philly.
That is very Philly.
And now we have Rojas facing an 80-game suspension. Originally, it came out that it was weed because the WBC banned him, but now baseball's involved, so we obviously know it's just drugs. So who's to blame here? Obviously MLB has a lot of checks and balances in place where if I have to take this cough medicine, I can put it into an app and it tells me if there's anything in there that's illegal. So do the Phillies have a problem with management? Do they have a problem with the trainers? Do they have a problem with the players? Do they have somebody on the inside that's peddling this shit? What the hell's going on?
My main answer is they're getting bad shit. They're whoever's providing this for them is obviously putting oregano in the bag or fucking something like that. He's selling them bad PEDs. And that's the PED problem with the fucking Phillies is that they're not working.
Well, I think they left the pee off and they're just ED pills.
Yeah, maybe.
That's it. They're all walking around fucking
with joints,
It lasts more than 4 hours.
There it is. There it is.
But I mean, I just think it's like, I mean, they've had a couple minor leaguers in the past few years that have failed tests as well. So it's like, is this like a black eye on the Phillies organization? Is it like a black cloud hanging over the Phillies? And where does it start? Is it from the top? Is it from the bottom? Is it, are the players just going rogue and doing shit on their own? Or
So think about why they do this, right? Think about why they do it. Because
two of them make sense. Kepler's at the end of his career, trying to hang on, and Rojas is a young guy that is struggling to make a roster. Right. I understand both of them completely.
And Jose's a fat motherfucker.
Yeah, he's still
wanted to.
You know what? You gotta love the fat motherfuckers, Chris.
Well,
you gotta love. I resemble that remark.
So let's just relate it to corporate, right? So if you're in a corporate situation and someone gets caught, guess what? The random drug tests, they're not so random anymore. They get targeted to places, departments, specific teams, possibly. So while this might be a common practice around, if you don't get caught, then it's purely random. If you get caught, well, it's random, but we're going to random that team. And then it's more likely to find, we're more likely to find something. Like, that's a fact.
So is Profar doing it and being like, they're not going to test me again?
He's a moron. That dude's a moron.
He is a moron.
He's an idiot.
There's only one other guy that's been banned for life. I forget who it is, but it was in 2015. I read an article, and Profar's got one more, and he's banned for life. So,
guys, I have a real quick question, and this has to do with Kepler. Have you guys ever seen the movie Friday, where Smokey asked Craig, how you going to get fired on your day off? How the fuck does Max Kepler get popped for PEDs in fucking January? Like
as a free agent with no team.
Does it take that long to drop a piss, dude?
Apparently.
Yeah, right. Free agent, no team. And they're like, we're going to test Max Kepler. Let's get that motherfucker.
Yeah. There's always something against us Germans. You know what I mean?
He could have
fucking I will tell you.
Well, he could have paid somebody else to fucking piss in a cup for him, couldn't he?
The Wizinator.
If you ask some of our followers, Nick Castellanos dropped dime on him. And they believe that.
Well, Chris caught a picture of that. Him actually calling.
But no, he's actually number 21 and not number 8. So,
people let you know that
they let us know.
They'll let you know that it's early too, and it just I was like, hey, the Phillies haven't won an away game, and they're one of only 2 teams. They're like, so what? Oh, I'm not saying it's the end of the world, motherfucker, but I'm giving you fucking facts.
It's an observation.
It's telling you something that's true.
An observation.
Seriously, grow the fuck up. We are going to be going weekly after we have a 2-week break, just because I'm going to be in rehab for a little bit, which is called Clearwater, Florida, or maybe I'll need it after. So these guys will definitely be on in 2 weeks on 319, and we have some cool guests upcoming too. Maybe for the next 1 or 2 or 3 podcasts, but I know it's at least one. So tune in with us. I think it's the 319 is the next one, which is Jesus Christ. That's the day I come back. Oh my God. Someone might need to take the controls.
I got you.
We got it. Exactly.
Thanks for tuning in with us tonight, and have a good night. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Fuck the Mets. As always.
Go Flyers.
Yeah.
Go Flyers. Nothing right now, motherfuckers.
Fuck.